It's Tuesday, May 11th here at the West End Gun Club. Took the day off from work, came out here to do a little shooting. I brought my Voodoo as usual, but I also brought out my Mausingfield. I moved the Kahles K525i scope from the Voodoo to the Mausingfield, so I need to zero that. And I came out here with some targets so I can shoot a little bit of 300, but I'm gonna try to play around with the Zero Compromise ZC527 Impact 3 reticle, or MPCT3 reticle. Want to just sort of do some holdovers with it just to kind of get used to the Christmas tree reticle on that. So I brought out a few steel targets. I'm going to place them probably at 100, maybe 150, 200, and 300, just so I can play around with the just holdovers, just to get a feel for it, because I'm just so used to the Skimmer 3, I want to get used to the Impact 3. Anyway, let's go ahead and throw some stuff on the firing pad, and then we'll drive out there to place targets. If you notice behind me, it is quite foggy. Cannot see beyond 125 yards or so. I went out there and put my paper targets, and I drove out there to put my 300-yard target up. But I couldn't even see the firing line from up there. And when I drove back, I was trying to figure out where the 200-yard-ish mark would be so I can set up my other steel targets. Still couldn't see it, can't laze it, so I drove all the way in, and we'll just go ahead and, in the meantime, while we're waiting for the fog to sort of clear up or dry out, we'll go ahead and sight in this gun. I moved my Kahles K525i from my Voodoo to the 6 Creedmoor, my Mausingfield rifle, which I built back in 2017, or I had built in 2017. I already reset the elevation on this thing, so it's factory zero or bottomed out, and we'll go ahead and get this on. Hopefully it should be on paper. I didn't boresight it. Oh, actually, I'll probably have to come up an elevation, but the windage should be okay. That's like the one thing you have to worry about when you're trying to zero a gun is your windage okay? Because if you're not on the board, then that makes things big pain. But it's set to factory no wind zero, or factory zero for the windage. And I didn't, for my no wind zero on my Voodoo, it was like not even a few tenths. So it's going to be close to factory zero as possible right now. And so hopefully I won't deviate as much on this gun as far as windage is concerned. But let's go ahead and get the ammo out, and we'll start setting this thing in. I just did a rough bore sighting, and according to this, we probably were, I did a rough bore sighting, and from reset elevation turrets on the Kahles K525i, and I think this is a 20 minute base, I'm up 10.5 mils. So we lost 10.5 mils on this scope with the 20-minute base, which is all right. All right, we're on paper, but we're about a solid 1.8 mils left. So I need to come right. I think I dialed that windage on and I didn't need it. I had 1.5 on the gun because I thought, based on my Boresight, what am I doing? Thought on my Boresighting that I needed windage, but apparently I didn't. Should have just shot straight away. All right, let's go ahead and take another shot. That was a clean, no, that was a cold bore, not a clean bore, but cold bore. All right, we're still low. 0.5 mil, 0.6. But I think we're on as far as a little bit more windage. Come right 2 tenths, and then we're gonna come up, I said 5 tenths, 6 tenths. All right, now we should be dead on here. Yep, just above the X. I'll just shoot a group here. Did that not? No, did not eject. Don't like that. Let's take a look at the target, 100 yards. So my first shot of the day went here, came over here, shot a 3-round group, left to right stringing. And then I shot this group up here, a little bit up and down. Shot this group here. It's all right. These are well within half a minute groups here that I can tell here. But I think I was splitting. I came 2/10 right here, so I just need to. I don't know what's wrong with my eyes today as far as this fog is concerned, but I'm gonna probably. I came over back 1/10, and I'll leave it there, and we'll see what the variance is, just on the holds. But I think we should be fine as far as elevation zero is concerned. And then I'll go ahead and lock those. I'm going to set the zero stop on that gun or on that scope, and then we'll shoot a few more. Still got to wait out the fog. It's starting to burn off just a little. I can sort of see out to what I think is 200, and then after I shoot a few more shots, we'll go ahead and drive out there and see if we can try to set up some targets to 200 and maybe 250 or 150, 200. I don't know. I just want to set 2 more targets before 300, just so I have some reference targets to use for holdovers, just to play with the reticle on that ZC527. The fog's starting to burn off, the sun's starting to creep through. I'm probably gonna grab my sunglasses, but I set up 2 more steel targets. I have my paper at 100 that's still there. And then I have a 4-inch target at what is apparently 149 yards. I set up a 5-inch target at what is 194 yards. And then I have an 8x8 sitting at approximately 300 and change, maybe 302, 304, depending on the angle or what side of the berm it's sitting on. But I didn't laze it while I was out there because earlier when I put the 300-yard target out there, it was too foggy to laze back. And so when I go out there to pick it up, I'll laze the target, the firing line from the target area to get the accurate reading. But let's go ahead and bust out the voodoo, probably go grab my sunglasses, and then we'll start shooting on those steel targets. I did acquire another scope coat. This is like their 2XL, XL, 2XL, I don't know. It's 17.5 inches, and this thing is 18 and a half, roughly 18 and a quarter, but it fits just fine. But it's 18 and a quarter with the sunshade attached. So I did attach a sunshade. I did get these MK Machining flip up scope caps. If you don't, I think you might have, I don't know, heard me say that. I don't really care for scope caps. A lot of people will say that's sacrilege. I don't know, I just feel like scope caps just get in the way, especially when I want to adjust my diopter on the eyepiece. So if anything, I often take the eyepiece scope cap off, the scope cover off, and I'll just run the objective lens. But I'm more concerned about sunshades. So coming from the photography world, I think sunshades are much more valuable than a cap, in the sense that I don't, I try to avoid hitting my lens, of course, right? And when I'm putting it away, I'll store it. I want to put a lens cap on there, but when I'm actually actively using my camera, I don't really care to have a cap on it, right? I want the sunshade because the sunshade will protect that. It'll protect impacts to the front lens, the objective lens, or front lens element on a camera, and same thing here. You know, and it helps with, you know, lens flare, glare from the sun, etc., and a little bit of barrel mirage, but not much. So that's why I prefer sunshades. I think that's more critical than a lens cover or a, you know, scope cover, or scope cap rather. But that's just me. And I like to use those neoprene scope covers for storage. So if I have that instead of a lens cap, I mean, that works just as well to protect the eyepiece lens and the objective lens. But anyway, to each his own. That's just my personal preference as far as lens covers versus these things, these scope covers, etc. I think this might actually be SK long range match because it one shot detected pretty hot. We'll see. Yeah, this is, wow, 1142. What is this? 1126. Yeah, this is SK long range match. So I should hold a bit under. 1103. 1112. SK long range match I found in this gun, the SDs aren't all that great. Right now it's 18.3, but that 1145 probably was an errant. Shot. Let me clear this archive series. I'm pretty sure that was SK long range match that was sitting in that mag. Because if it's shooting over 1100, it's got to be SK long range match. Don't know what that was. Didn't have the Magnetospeed reset. Yeah, this is all SK long range match at 1123. 6.6 on the Kestrel. Got 3.8 on the gun. Let's go ahead and see if we can get to 200 or 140. This is 194 roughly. So technically, I'll be under. So let's do 6.5. 194. Set parallax. Hit. I think we're high. Don't see the splatter, but we hit it. There it goes. Right of center. I think we're hitting right of target because I'm seeing the bullet impact this way after it strikes. So let's hold about 3/10 left. Yep. So the way I'm doing this is I'm dialing my parallax back and forth to watch the flow of the mirage, because I hit the parallax like before the target and a little bit after. But before the target, it looks like the mirage waves are going left to right. After the target, it seems to be going up into down and up, right to left. But I'm more focused on wind before the target, and right now it looks like it's a left to right, left to right boil, if you want to call it that. It's not very fast. Man, I need to see this lighting up, but you can barely see it in this sunlight. I don't know why. Usually I can see it. I don't know if it's because of that dirt berm. It's killing the flash. $13.5, 300. All right, 3.8, 6.5, 13.5. So I have enough on my reticle. The Christmas tree reticle goes down to 14 mils. So I have enough to use my reticle. I'm gonna dial 6.8 for 300, 200 rather, and I'm gonna hold above with 6.8 for that 13.5 just to get a feel for this reticle. And I'll move, because I want to be able to, I'm glad there's wind, so at least I can use the bottom left and right of the Christmas tree reticle just to get used to these, the dot matrix, the circles that are on the MPCT3 reticle. But that's kind of what I want to do today, so we'll go ahead and just shoot some rounds at 300 with holdovers just to get used to the reticle. A couple reference shots at, okay, looks like we're shooting high. Is it 6.8? Or sorry, 6.5. What am I thinking? It's 3.8, 6.5. All right, we're on, two shot. Right to left. Wind. All right, so I got 6.5. I said I need 13.5. So technically, I should be dialing roughly, so 6.5, 13.5, so I need 7 mils. So I'm gonna hold above 7 mils. I'm gonna use my reticle, which you can't see on camera, but I'm gonna hold on the 7 mil mark. It's right to left wind. I'm gonna go ahead and use the bottom of my, oh, is it left to right? Right to left, right to left. I'm gonna shoot 2/10 right. No, it's left to right. I'm gonna hold 2/10 left. Impact, you can see the Magnetospeed. Hopefully on camera it comes out, but I can see the Magnetospeed light up. So I'm holding 7/10 high, or sorry, 7 mils high, 2/10 left. I missed. Got an impact there. I like the dot matrix design so far. The open circles for the 1 mil markers, because you can still see your target. I know you're supposed to focus on your reticle, but I just like having that ability to just know that you're actually framing the target correctly with that dot. Damn, I'm missing quite a bit. The wind is moving around on me. Anyway, just trying to get a feel for this reticle. Another impact. Yeah, I can barely see my Magnetospeed T1000 right now. I think it's just getting washed out in that sun, because the sun's on this side and it's hitting directly where my the light for the T1000 is going to be coming out of. If you're on the left side of it, it might probably look better, or might be distinguishable. Impact. So we're getting some consistent hits with a holdover of 7 mils and a 2/10 left. I can see it light up. Ah, I always mess up a shot. That was 8 in a row. That did not light up. Missed the last two. 8 for 10 on that one. I was shooting the last few rounds and I saw something fly off. And apparently the Magnetospeed T1000, I shot the, looks like I shot this deal, which is the reflector. I somehow put 2 rounds in that thing, which is to be expected. That's why they make these things replaceable. So I put 2 rounds through this the clear reflector deal. So it doesn't do damage to this. You're fine. It's supposed to take those impacts, but that thing just came straight off. And usually centerfire will go through, but since rimfire, you know, shoots at such a slower velocity, that's why it's still in here. I did strike my other one slightly. It hit the housing because it actually, the target in the wind, it was changing angles. So I just got just enough of like a more than a 30-degree angle where a round went and hit the housing, and it actually hit the electronics a little bit, but it still operates. I think only one of the LEDs doesn't work. but I made these things on the back of these hooks to keep it from moving. The face doesn't turn at an angle anymore, so it kind of stays relative to the I don't know, it keeps most of the face towards you, so to prevent that from happening again. But anyway, interesting, I struck this twice apparently, so I got 2 rounds in here. But I got a spare. The T1000s come with 2 of these things, so I'll replace this when I get home. Actually, I have the box here. It's in the box. It's in the back of the Jeep. So anyway, let's go pack this in and we'll call it a day. I'm all packed up, about to get out of here. It's just after 10 o'clock. Sun came out about an hour and a half ago or so, and it's starting to get really warm. I think it's supposed to hit like 80 something degrees today. Decent shooting today. Got my Mausingfield with the Kahles K525i zeroed in. Zero stop has been set. Played around a little bit with the impact reticle on the ZC527 just to get used to that reticle on holdovers. I'm liking that dot matrix design on the Impact 3. Looks very clean and clear. It's crisp. I don't know how else to describe it. It's really nice. But I've already been drafting a review, or not a review, let's just call it like a first impressions of the Zero Compromise Optic 527. That's already been drafted. I'm going to fill in a few more details like what I did today, some photos of the reticle on target, and that'll probably get released maybe next week if I feel like releasing it next week. But yeah, stay tuned for that article on my blog. If you don't read that, it's ocabj.net. You may see my videos on YouTube, but I do have a blog, which is, I tend to write a lot. So, well, I haven't been doing it recently, but I tend to write a lot of articles. So that's why I do a lot of my content, because it's just easier to write than it is to record videos and edit videos. So it's just easier just to, anytime I can always write something up and then go back at it, go back to it, take a break and whatever. But with video, you're usually just trying to produce the whole thing and then cut it all together and then hope you got something that's decent. So I do a lot of stuff on ocabj.net. Go check out that website if you're not even familiar with that. So that's kind of it. Not sure when I'll be out again. I'm probably going to, next time I'll be out the range will be fourth Sunday of the month, when our usual NRL 22 match is supposed to be. We're not having a match. I think it's May 23rd, Sunday, fourth Sunday of the month. It's not going to be a match, but it will be an event. It's going to be a clinic. I call it a clinic, kind of open shoot, where it's open for anyone, but it's really oriented for new shooters, people who are trying to get into NRL 22, and people who have just shot a few matches in NRL 22 and just kind of want to learn a little bit more. It's going to be kind of very basic to like novice, right? And that's where I'm orienting it. Be like an hour of just sort of overview of everything, instructional type things, and then we'll dive into live fire and I'll have some stages set up. So if you're interested in that, I've capped it to 10 people. I've already got 7 participants, I think, registered. I may actually cut it down to 8, just because I'm the only one running this thing. So it's easier to have less people when you got to keep an eye on everybody. But we'll see. I'll post a link to the clinic, the registration link, so you can get a little bit more details about what's going to take place in the video description or like on a pinned comment on this video. But anyway, that's in like, I don't even have a date on my watch, but it's about 2 weeks, I think, 2.5 weeks. So it's coming up soon. Anyway, that's it for today. Today is May 11th, Tuesday here at the West End Gun Club. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vlog.